We'll try it again. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this council meeting. It's Monday, September 22nd. Notes to members of the public before we start. And we don't have any members of the public to worry about. Albert, I hope your phone is off. You are the only member of our public this evening. Okay. Thank you so much. So please stand then, everyone, for the singing of O Canada. That's Cairn Christian School this evening. Thank you. So before beginning the actual meeting, I'd like to provide the following announcements. The public may submit comments for matters that are on this agenda or any agenda to jpaylove@westlincoln.ca before 4:30 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Comments submitted will be considered as public information and will be read into the public record. And this meeting is being live streamed as well as recorded and will be available on the Township's website. So we'll begin, as always, with the land acknowledgement. The Township of West Lincoln, being part of Niagara Region, is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattaway-Wendrock, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The Township of West Lincoln, as part of the Regional Municipality of Niagara, stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. And I'm going to turn to Councillor Bradrick for the opening petition this evening, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We gather together here today intent on doing good work. We seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faith give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us.
Thank you, Councillor. So are there any changes, orders of items on the agenda this evening? Seeing none. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest and or conflict of interest? And again, seeing none. So under item 6, which is always on our agenda, is the request to address items on the agenda. Just for any members of the public who may view this at a later time or may be watching now, I'm going to speak about when people are able to speak. So under 6.7, public comment at council, there shall be no comments from the public permitted at council unless A, a specific appointment has been scheduled, or B, an item is included in the other business or communications or appointments sections of the agenda and relates to a matter which would normally be dealt with at committee. And so I know that there are no members of the public present in the gallery, but Kevin, is there anyone online perchance?
Not seeing any, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. So although we don't have any appointments or prescribed presentations this evening, we do have an informal presentation, and I'm going to call on Councillor Cheechok for her presentation of something wrapped very uniquely this evening.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And it gives me great pleasure to address this issue tonight. The past week has been the culmination of months of work, hard work, that this community has put together in volunteering to get to the International Plowmen's Association Piece de Resistance each year and celebrate the International Plowing Festival here in West Lincoln. And I can say that I was so proud of the people of West Lincoln and the work that they did to successfully take on the Plowmen's event and to participate in making it a great occasion, but nothing made my heart swell more than seeing the number of our staff who, with their own time and their own energy, gave so much to make this a great success. And culminated by watching the dancing queens and cowboys on Friday night enjoy themselves in our arena to the point where we were filled almost to capacity with line dancers from every stretch of this community and beyond, begging for the night to go on and not stop. So that tells me how much this event meant to our community, and we hope that it doesn't happen for a few more years again.
Another 99 per chance.
That would be okay with me. So, as part of the process of the International Plowing event happening in West Lincoln, we were asked to have a beautification committee, and the beautification committee worked to get as many stimulated individuals to put at least some effort into a garden or something on their lawns to make it look special for the plowing event. And sometime in August, I think it was, our mayor threw a challenge out to all of the other municipal governments and the regional government to say, hey, come on and challenge us. We can do it. And there was a category for government sector. So there was lots of categories, from little guys to whoever else. And so the categories were widespread, but the one for municipal government was awarded first place to the Township of West Lincoln. So I can see nobody else who should receive this award but our staff for the work that they put into the entire event, but also to the whatever's in this that came from the International Plowmen's Association to thank you and provide you with a memory of the hard work and the painful legs, arms, and feet that probably resulted from the work. So, Madam Mayor, with your permission, I'd like to present this to perhaps Cynthia Summer as a representative of our staff.
Please do.
I know our CAO is there, but you weren't dancing on Friday night.
No one wants to see
Is it a
that.
box of chocolates?
If I get one of those, I'll bring it for you.
I could ask to be.
Yay. So as I said, elegantly wrapped. Would you care to, well, tell everybody it's wrapped in newspaper, you know, very environmentally friendly.
And the card is really, really amazing, too.
So
Am
we
I
did
on?
learn earlier today that we were first place. So I presume, Madam Director, that money prize might go back into the garden in some way, shape, or form, but perhaps you have another plan for it.
Well, first of all, I thank you. This will mean a lot to everyone who is involved. The team really was awesome. Like, we had almost our entire team. In fact, I would venture almost literally everyone who works here worked on this event in some manner. And it truly was a bonding opportunity for everyone and an honor for us. So thank you very much. As you know, I'll just add this in case anyone doesn't know, we raised for community care $4,200. And sorry, I should have said through you, Madam Mayor.
That's all right, you're stealing my remarks, both of you, but that's
Thank you.
okay. They're going to have to listen to those anyway, so.
It's a first for us to steal yours, Madam Mayor.
And yes, thank you. Yes, we did come first with the beautification. I just heard that literally within the last 30 minutes. So that's wonderful. And there is a prize, and I don't know council's opinion on this, but the thinking was we might donate that as well to community care. So thanks.
Whatever, good support for the community. So thank you. Thank you, Councillor Chichok, for that. So that takes us to Regional Councillor Witteveen's remarks for this evening. Welcome, Albert. I'm sure you're as tired as the rest of us, so go ahead. It has been a long haul.
Debate whether to have a nap or come here, so I'm prepared to finish off. There we go. Just want to make sure. So yes, good evening, Madam Mayor and members of council, staff, and members of the public. So just want to give you a couple updates tonight, keep it simple. The Niagara region in the last month has been working through their budget process, and and we were presented with the waste management budget. So we were given a quick overview of this service within the region. So just to give you some highlight information, the Niagara region managed 190,000 tons of waste last year at 2 landfill sites. And it also looks after 3 drop-offs and 4 household hazardous waste sites. All in all, these serviced 330,000 customers last year, and they attended 150 events as part of their outreach program. This department is requesting a below cost of living increase for their operating budget for 2026. So we were also presented with the Niagara Regional Police budget request this past month as well. The Police Board is reviewing the budget request put forward by Council to hold their increase to the 3.5% guidance. So the police just gave a presentation and gave us a bit of an indication that 3.5% might be difficult for them. So they'll be coming back later this year with a final request for the overall budget. And so at our Public Works meeting in September, we were also given a progress report on major projects and timelines for completion. Staff updated us on the Vision Zero program with the success and requests for neighboring municipalities to expand the program. Staff have also purchased portable speed indicator signs that will let drivers know of their speed in areas of concern. And as you're all well aware, the Premier Doug Ford made a statement to get rid of all the speed cameras. So to date, as people have reached out, to date we have not been given any update on this announcement. And some of the challenges you can think of, like we signed a 5-year contract with a vendor, and so we have a contract obligation. So after that announcement, it seems to have been quiet out there in that world. But our region is, I think we're very much committed to this project as one tool in the box to create safety in our communities. And of course, as Councillor Chichek, and lastly, I'd like to say I spent all last week volunteering at the International Plowing Match, welcoming visitors as they arrived through the front gate this week, and also asked them, engage with them on the way out, and I would say that this event was a success, and it was a great opportunity to showcase our hospitality in our facilities. And I heard many positive comments from those that attended, and complimented us on also on the location for this event. So anyways, this is my report. I know there's much more coming this evening, so if any members of council have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Councillor Witteveen. Is there anyone who has a question or comment? Okay. Seeing
Thank
none,
you.
Thank you. So that will take us then to confirmation of minutes. And so we have, first of all, under 9.1, the council and all committee minutes from August the 11th, which seems like a long time ago now, but those are the last minutes. And Councillor Riley, you have that resolution in front of you?
Moved by myself that the minutes relating to the August 11th, 2025 council, including all committees meeting, and the recommendations contained therein be accepted.
Thank you. And someone to second those minutes, please? Councillor Chichok? Are there any questions or comments about the minutes? Okay, seeing none then, Mr. Clerk? Oh, there it comes. Does everybody have it? Good. Okay. So that resolution is in front and it carries. Okay, good, thank you. 9.2 is our public meeting under the Planning Act from August 11th as well, and September the 8th. And Councillor Chichok, you have those minutes?
I do, Madam Mayor, thank you. Moved by myself that the minutes relating to the August 11th and the September 8th, 2025 public meetings be accepted.
Thank you, and someone to second that? Councillor Maychak? Any questions about those minutes? Okay, moving right along then, the vote will be in front of you. And that also carries. There are no communications this evening, but I have council remarks. You're going to have to bear with me because you're going to hear some of the same things, I'm sure, but a bit more. I can't believe, when I sat down, I thought we've been so sort of in the middle of all of our things getting ready for the IPM, that when I look back at the actual things that we've been involved in since the last meeting on August the 11th, there was a fair bit to say. So just, it's large print, bear with me. At our last council meeting on August the 11th, before the AMO conference, I reported that we had not been successful in securing delegations to the various ministries at the AMO conference. However, later that week, with the help of our MPP Sam Osterhoff, we were able to meet with Tourism, Culture, and Gaming Minister Stan Cho regarding the fact that the provincial library operating grant had not been changed for more than 20 years, in spite of the rising costs of operating our libraries. Additionally, we were able to meet with the Minister of Sport, Neil Lumsden, and discuss methods of strengthening our application for a grant aimed to greatly improve the Wellandport Park area. Thanks to Councillors Cheechak, Riley, Maychak, Rayner, Regional Councillor Witteveen, and CAO McBride for attending those delegations along with me to show their support for these issues. Since the AMO conference, I've attended a great many events as a representative of our municipality, including the 20th year celebration of the Greenbelt, and additionally a presentation regarding the status of the application for Niagara's UNESCO Global Geopark application, at which I was able to advocate for the inclusion of West Lincoln's unique karst topography as a feature of this application moving forward. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but there has been an organization committee, and they have been trying to look at all of Niagara as a geopark, because we have Niagara Falls and because we have the escarpment and because we have the bench areas and just various things. But of course, West Lincoln isn't part of that. We don't have those great big things. But we do have the latest and the largest area of karst topography. And we know in some of our new developments that's already been pointed out. So there is a potential way of eventually having that, and so maybe some of our trails and things that we have connecting to that and including us then in that area. So I've attended a webinar update on MPAC, still no date for the next development and when they're going to reassess, a provincially mandated session on strong mayor powers, and an IESO webinar. I also attended the celebration of life at the Smithville Legion for Charlie Cole, a longtime member of the Smithville Legion Branch 393. So I'm going to say that even if you didn't know his name, you might remember Charlie as the older man who year after year sat at Foodland with a poppy campaign. So there are lots of people who didn't know that man's name who actually came to that celebration of life, and they just said, I remember seeing him, I remember seeing him, I remember seeing him. He was always the one there. As well, I was pleased to attend the retirement celebration for Pastor Peter Tominga from the Smithville Christian Church on Town Line. Again, you might remember Pastor Peter as the person who provided a very inspirational, community-based invocation at our inaugural meeting in 2022. Other events that I've attended as our representative include the MPEI AGM, Media Day for the IPM, the kickoff to the Terry Fox Run, and the 40th anniversary celebration for Rose Cottage. Councillors Shelley, Cheechak, John, and I all helped with Silverdale's annual chili soup and corn roast as well. It's been quite a busy few weeks. CAO McBride and I were invited to attend a Rural Economic Development and Red Tape Reduction Roundtable at the Ground Oak Culinary Market in Vineland Station. The roundtable was facilitated by MPP Sam Osterhoff and included the Honourable Andrea Kajin, Minister of Red Tape Reduction, and the Honourable Lisa Thompson, Minister of Rural Affairs. Among the issues that we were able to address was our pleasure with the opportunity provided by the Ministry of Rural Affairs to apply for a Rural Ontario Development funding to begin developing our own economic development strategy for West Lincoln. And then there was the IPM, I said, the International Ploughing Match and Rural Expo. After 19 months since first learning that the Ontario Ploughmen's Association had selected Grassy in West Lincoln for the 106th Annual International Ploughing Match and Rural Expo, there has been a whirlwind of activity, planning, organizing, and then finally implementing those plans for this massive event. I have been told that in some aspect or another, from the initial infrastructure planning right on down to the staff members who took shifts in our tent meeting, pardon me, meeting with the public and giving away swag from West Lincoln as the host municipality. Over 90 West Lincoln staff members, including our fire department and library staff members, were involved in helping with our part of the IPM. Our staff were great West Lincoln ambassadors who, in their enthusiasm and welcoming manner, managed to raise $4,201.05 in donations from the T-shirt and stress reliever tractor giveaways. Those much-needed dollars will be donated to West Lincoln Community Care to help support those members of our community who are most in need at this time. Hosting the IPM was indeed a massive undertaking, but it all went extremely well. It was a wonderful tribute to the farmers who both feed our province and fuel our economy. I've used that line before, but I really firmly believe that that's what's happening, and I think that we did a good job celebrating them. It was our honor to support and showcase our local farming community and farm-related businesses. Our local IPM organizing committee itself consisted of many of those same local farmers and business owners. They worked for months on end to make this happen, and they too deserve our sincere thanks for their efforts. And thank you to all staff who were involved at various levels of pulling the IPM together. Thanks to Councillors Riley and Cheechak and CAO McBride for joining me in the grape stomping competition, and to Councillor Machak for filming it. To Councillors Riley and Cheechak and staff Garrett Borma, Justin Palov, Cynthia Summers, Trooper McBride, Jackie Thrower for attending the Grape Growers of Ontario Celebrity Luncheon. Guest Haley Wickenheiser was indeed a most inspiring and entertaining speaker. Thanks also to Councillor Cheechak, who joined John and I at the Celebration of Excellence IPM dinner at Club Roma, and then later at our very own Boots and Furrows line dance party at our community centre. Special thanks to the Director of Community and Protective Services and her team for all of the fun and interesting things that they provided both at the West Lincoln tent and then at the community line dances, where well over 200 people enjoyed themselves. Great job, everyone. All those connected events as part of the overall international plowing match served to showcase West Lincoln as being a friendly, well-organized, and welcoming host community. It took a small army of people working together, but we did it, and we did it well. So thank you, everybody. Okay, so I told you it was long, but I thought everything needed to be said. So not too bad, actually? Thank you. Same day, not an hour later or anything, but okay. Okay, so that does take us to reports of committee. Growth and Sustainability Committee minutes of September 8th, and Councillor Machak, you have those.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Moved by myself that the minutes relating to the September 8th, 2025 Growth and Sustainability Meeting and the recommendations contained therein be accepted, and that the confidential minutes relating to the closed session portion of the September 8th, 2025 council meeting be accepted, and that the minutes remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with the exemptions provided in Section 239 of the Municipal Act.
Thank you. And someone to second those minutes, please? Councillor Riley, I saw your hand. Okay, are there any questions or comments about the open portion of those minutes? Seeing none then, Mr. Clerk? The vote should be in front of you. Okay, that resolution carries, and that takes us to the Operations Committee minutes from September the 8th. And Councillor Riley, back to you.
I do, thank you. Moved by myself that the minutes relating to the September 8th, 2025 Operations Committee meeting and the recommendations contained therein be accepted.
Thank you. And someone to second those? Councillor Braderick? Are there any questions or comments regarding those minutes? Okay, seeing none. Keeping you busy this evening? Okay, that also carries. So the 12.3 are the Corporate Services Committee minutes from September 15th. And Councillor Braderick.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Moved by myself, one, that the minutes relating to the September 15, 2025 corporate service meeting and the recommendations contained therein be accepted. Two, that the confidential minutes relating to the closed session portion of the September 15, 2025 council meeting be accepted, and the minutes remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with exemptions provided in Section 239 of the Municipal Act. I'm just thinking that perhaps there's a misprint in the second part where it says September 15, 2025 council meeting. Should it It should say Corporate
It should
Services
say
Committee.
Corporate Services. Good catch, thank you.
That change. You gotta reread it from the beginning.
Put some meat in it. Councillor Trombetta, can I ask you to second this, please? All right, now that we have that corrected and the typo has been fixed in terms of the name of it, are there any questions or comments about the open session portion of those minutes? Okay, seeing none then. Okay, so that also carries, thank you. And good thing we got you in there, Councillor Trombetta, because you're next, please, with the Community and Protective Services Committee minutes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Moved by myself that the minutes relating to the September 15th, 2025 Community and Protective Services meeting and the recommendations contained therein be accepted.
Thank you. And a seconder for those? Councillor Riley, thank you. Any questions about those minutes? Moving right along, then the vote should be in front of you, please. And so that also carries. So we have nothing to reconsider this evening, and there's no notice, and other business is coming up. So I'm going to start with you, Councillor Maychak, on your side. Do you have something this evening?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Very brief, I want to commend you for your leadership and your husband, John, for leading the age-friendly strategy and all the volunteers. Because as you know, because you've done so much work, this Friday, September 26th, at 9:30, we invite all seniors, anyone over the age of 55, to come and hear some outstanding speakers, combined with a great number of exhibits, and a great opportunity to learn and find out about all the programs and services that are available in West Lincoln for seniors. So I hope to see everyone there.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, it is. We'll be here before we know it, right? Councillor Bradrick.
Nothing more to add than what's already been said with the International Plowing Match. It was a great event, and so excited to have seen that for our community.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm
Councillor
good, Madam
Trombetta.
Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Riley?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a couple things, or at least a few things I'd like to mention. Once, I guess first things first, to all those involved with the organization and the execution of the IPM, my hat's off to you. Being able to be a part of that and actually being in the midst of it, never been to one before myself, like it's a big responsibility, and such a wonderful opportunity to see a side of the industry I've never seen before and be a part of that. It's one thing to be in an agricultural community, being an urban counselor. I don't necessarily get a chance to really, get my dancing shoes on by any means. I certainly didn't make it out to dancing there, but I was able to take part of the opening ceremonies and all the festivities that kind of led into that, and it was great. It was quite an experience, and thank you to staff as well for doing your part and rising to the occasion. I do look forward. I know at some point next month we're going to get briefed on what the actual cost was locally here and with the in-kind service and all that stuff. So I look forward to seeing that as well. But in the meantime, I just wanted to put my gratitude and thanks out there for all those involved in organizing it, because even just recognizing some of our regular community volunteers, they're just running from one thing to the next, and you see the where would we be without them? I have no idea. I hope that we were able to inspire more people to step up and volunteer in the future. A couple of the other things I wanted to mention unrelated to that. So, Madam Mayor, as you know, I think you and I, and maybe even Councillor Maychak, might have been attached to an email we received from a resident regarding recognizing our veterans as we get close to November with the sidewalk painting. And I know staff kind of did like a little bit of a light dive into looking at it. And so for other members of committee and members of the community, there was a request by a veteran looking for us to honor and show our support to our veterans and try to finding an opportunity. And some of the, I guess, preliminary research indicates it could cost quite a bit of money. We're talking anywhere between $30,000 to $60,000 if we were to hire a company to do it. And so I guess my soft inquiry here is this not something maybe staff could probably do in-house? I know Lincoln last year managed to keep it in-house, and they did it for around, I think, if I understood correctly from one of my colleagues out there, a couple $1,000s.
So
I
I'm
think-
going to just say for a minute, I don't know where Lincoln's is. One of our
Yes.
complicated issues, and I think members of council need to realize, of course, that we could, on our own, cross over Dennis Drive, for example.
Yes, that's
But what the community we felt really wants to see is crossing over Regional Road 20, which is where some of that comes, because we're now dealing with a regional road.
Correct.
So I think we're still looking, it won't be done this year, I think we're still looking into it, but the CAO might want to weigh in on that a bit
Okay.
more.
Thank you. And through you, Madam Mayor, we have had a chance to look into it and speak with the region. The region, it wasn't something that they were going to be able to support the crossing Regional Road 20. It was suggested that we could put that on our local road. We got a cost estimate from the region. It appears that it would be around a $30,000 touch if we wanted to move forward with that. So that was something I've spoken with Director DePaula about. We haven't had chance to put much more around that yet in terms of how that would come in a proposal before council. But that's essentially where that review's at so far.
Okay, I kind of wonder as well, and thank you for that. I kind of wonder as well if there's opportunities, if maybe the road crossing's not destined in the near future, if there's some way we can put out some kind of spots in the community where a mural or some kind of element that can be used from volunteers or anybody who wants to be creative and artistic. If we can kind of explore other options, I think that'd be worthwhile. I just wanted to bring that up because I know not everybody received that email.
Yes.
Some of us did, and this is not the first time we received that request. Last year, I believe we got it, maybe even the year before that. And sometimes it was always a timing thing. They kind of asked us within the 11th hour. So this was the first
Yes.
time they kind of got a little bit ahead of it, but we kind of got to plan even more.
Exactly.
What we're
And
gonna do.
I think part of that, you're absolutely right. Last year, on Remembrance Day, was when I was first approached about that. And I just said, well, it takes some lead-up time to even investigate the possibility. But it's certainly something that we would be open to investigating. And we still are. And unfortunately, this time again, it was early, certainly earlier than last year, but not long enough to sort of get it into a budget. I know that there was a little bit of discussion about even doing something on our community center grounds. So, I think we need to have a bigger discussion about it and look at it, but I think it's something that people in our community are interested in doing.
And it could be any kind of form. It certainly doesn't have to be crosswalks. I think if we could
It
find
just
something.
makes me wish that our Legion wasn't sitting smack dab on a main street that was first a
it'd be
provincial
nice.
highway and now is a regional road. So we don't have
Okay.
as much control over that.
And so the last topic I'll mention briefly tonight, just from things I'm hearing in the community, is around policing. And so there's obviously we can't control everything that goes on social media, but I know, and some of you are probably aware of as well, there's some fake police reports that are being put out there using ChatGPT. But as a result, I did hear from a resident who expressed some concerns around. They understand aspects of it is just a civil, private matter, and the police are doing the best they can to deal with it. But there are some problematic, we'll say, characters in the community that are, I guess, absorbing police resource and time, not necessarily directly related to that, but it's like they're using that as like a stepping stone. And so the question to me was, what mechanism can a resident go through to kind of get the region, and they're looking at it from a regional perspective, because they don't feel heard and they don't understand the process of how to get that through. So they kind of came to me. He was asking if there was an opportunity for us to speak to our regional representatives in terms of how they can hold those accountable in terms of whether they're falsifying reports or falsifying just, and we'll call it like swatting calls. They're very concerned, and I won't name the neighborhood because I can't because of transparent or privacy reasons. But there are some things where there are frequent flyers in our community that we have a situation that police are just, in their opinion, not doing enough, and they feel that it's possibly because there's not enough pressure on them and they're not prioritizing those issues in West Lincoln, but they may be prioritizing them in other municipalities. So I just really wanted to put that out there. It's kind of a bit of an awkward step forward, but it was one of those things. I know that there's concerns that some of those things are being like going. The other aspect of it was that because, from my understanding, a few of those characters are youth offenders, and so they believe that because they're under that threshold, that's not being taken as serious, which is kind of another awkward component to it. So
Well, I think the perception of what's serious and what actually can be done with youth offenders are two different things
Absolutely.
as well. So,
But I feel like there's just
certainly we
that-
can have that conversation.
Yeah.
We can have a conversation with Chief Forey.
Okay.
And
Well, I wanted to
just
put that
see-
out there because I feel like maybe as our regional representatives, if there's an opportunity there, I don't know what goes on and how you necessarily, what you guys get briefed on through the regional policing aspect at the region there. But if there's ever an opportunity to speak to some of those concerns, they are growing. Because I know there's been a bit of an uptick in just petty crimes and youth vandalism and stuff like that, and I realize we're out in the middle of nowhere, and not just speeding is just not our issue, and people not obeying traffic laws are not our issue. We have these other things that are growing, and I think the concern from this particular resident was that it was kind of like, it's going to get worse because it's not getting dealt with. So anyways, just wanted to put that out there. We can certainly talk more about it later, but I just wanted that on record.
Fair enough.
And
Thank you.
I believe that's everything,
Okay.
Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Chichok.
Well, just from another aspect of the plowing match, what I wanted to say was that not beside a day named St. Patrick's Day where everyone wants to either drink green beer or be Irish, have I ever seen or been so proud of the farming community where education from farmers was being shared with community members from throughout all of Ontario to come and learn about farming, agriculture, because agriculture is not about a farmer in coveralls with rubber boots. The careers in agriculture are immense. Everything from laboratory researchers or to breeders of whether it's animals or produce or field crops. And being a part of a number of of agricultural community associations, and a farmer myself, as with my family, I have to say that it was wonderful to see how children were learning at that event the broader picture of agriculture. So I just want to say to the effort that it took to put that thing on, I'm not sure that I'll walk straight for a year, but I want to say I am so thankful that people got to learn who farmers were. They weren't just the guys in the rubber boots. In fact, they might be sitting beside someone who's a farmer when they least expect it. Thank you.
Thank
So
you
that
very
was
much.
what I wanted to say about things that had happened in the recent past.
Thank you. Councillor Rayner, nothing? Okay, I just have a couple of things that actually happened. One happened today, was an invitation came, fancy thinking about plowing match. The 100th North Niagara plowing match is taking place on Tuesday, October the 14th. It's happening on Rosedene Road at the Comfort Farm, and I was asked to invite members of council who might want to come to something that's not so far to walk, not so far to see, not so grand. And she's going to send me some more information, but since you're all here tonight, I thought I would give you a heads up that that is an upcoming event anyway that you might want to just check out. The 14th, Tuesday the 14th. And so, anyway, if you want that address and stuff, I can give it to you later, but I just thought, well, it's in our area, and maybe if you weren't able to go, they might like to do that. I also want to just point out a couple of things that are coming up in October before, that are just community-wide, and one is the blood donor clinic on October the 3rd. We don't have another meeting before then. So, and October the 4th, of course, is Harvest Roots. Some things you needed to sign up for, but the marketplace is open from 10 to 1 at the community center, and there are other things going on in our libraries as well. So I thought that I would point those things out. And just a final reminder that our Community Recognition Award night is Tuesday, October 21st. So you might want to put that in your calendar as well at 7 o'clock at night.
If I may, Madam Mayor.
Please.
I would encourage all members of council, to the best of your ability, come out. Last few years, it's just been Mayor Ganan, myself, and Councillor Chichuk, and please, come out, support those individuals, because it means a lot to them, even when they come up and shake your hand, and they're so grateful. They're not seeking recognition, but to be recognized, goes a long way with them, so I feel like, it'd be nice if we had a better attendance, so please.
There's not a person on that list who actually has ever sought attention for themselves. They've just, many
Not
of
by
them
any
been
means.
volunteering for years. So I would second that. I think that would be wonderful if more people can come out. So in any
I'll
case.
third it.
I'll just clarify that I did reach out to those recipients afterwards and gave them a congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Do you know, it does matter. It does matter. It's not a big deal if you don't do it, but when you do, then people are really appreciative. So, okay, we're good. No items of business, new business tonight. I don't see anybody and haven't heard of anything. There are no confidential matters, and that takes us then to bylaws. And Councillor Maychak, you have the bylaws.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Moved by myself that leave be granted to introduce bylaws 2025-56, 2025-57, and 2025-58, and that the same shall be considered to have been read a first, second, and third time with one reading, and are thereby adopted, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to sign and affix the corporate seal thereto, any rule of this council to the contrary notwithstanding.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Rayner, would you like to second those bylaws? Okay, thank you. Any questions about bylaws? Okay, then we're ready. Okay, and the bylaws are approved, which takes us to item number 19, which is an adjournment. And we did know it looked like it was going to be close and quick, but I will adjourn this meeting at the hour of 7:10. Thank you.